Incoming message from Commodore Thai.
Hello all, and welcome to the Virtual Pub. This will be on my channel tonight because Matthew is having some technical difficulties with his computer right now. So there were people asking for who's doing a virtual pub, who wants to do a virtual pub. So I'm like, heck, I'm doing nothing. So here I am. If anyone wants to join in, you're more than welcome to. The link is in the chat. I'm just putting it in there now. It should be appearing. So feel free to come in and we'll chit-chat. So, and hello to 47 Yorktown from Eastern Canada. Hey, it must be a little later for you out there than it is for me right now. So I'm just really watching some classic Star Trek right now. You got the great classic episode Space Seed airing. And hello to Professor Briny Specs and Andrea. Hopefully you guys are still in watching the stream. We'd love to see you here. And so if people haven't known, I do a lot of reviews on various different shows. I've been somewhat disappointed in the end of WandaVision. And no, it wasn't just simply because there was no cameo. It just, some of the stuff just, it was a good episode, don't get me wrong, but something just happened during it, and it just felt like it was, could have been just a tad bit better. Like, it was just missing something. And Life of Matthews is here to remind me to pin the Professor, you are true co-host, so come on up. Oh, my thoughts on, I just brought that up. Matthew, I just said, like, the last finale of WandaVision I liked, but there was just some stuff I felt like it could have been better. Like the Ralph Boner skit, I'm like, really? That was the whole thing that they've been talking about Ralph for the entire thing was about Ralph Boner? Yeah, the general motivation for being evil felt a little weak to me beyond being white, male, and military. Yeah, the director, there was a great opportunity to have him be something, and it was just him being a dick. It's buffering bad. Sorry about that. I don't have the best Wi-Fi here, but hopefully it will get a bit better. And hello, Captain Trek. Welcome. I think the reason for the buffering is because I'm using the camera. So I'll just switch the camera off, and hopefully it will be a bit better. But I just wanted to show I am wearing my Starfleet. And so Matthew, and I was a little disappointed by everyone fighting exact duplicates of themselves, but evil. You know, like every other Marvel movie. Yeah, but it was kind of expected. Like, I was looking forward to the Agatha Wanda fight. I was just expecting like that was going to be the cause of a rift. They were going to cause a rip or some sort of misalignment in the multiverse. Captain Trek, you got some explaining to do. And Professor Brainspeck says hello as well. And don't be shy, people. You can always jump in at any time. I'm just having myself my beer. Hey, it's pub night. Time for a beer, people. So, how's everyone else's day been? I finally got the review for Star Trek Picard, season 8, episode 8 out, and Captain Trek is in. So,
Yes.
let's all welcome Captain Trek. Hello, Captain.
Hello.
How's it been?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So you wanted an explanation, huh?
Well, Matthew wants the explanation. I think I'm fine with it.
Well, as I said in the title, it's called A True Virtual Pub. Because let's see here. And this is nothing against Matthew because it's his channel, and it's his right to run things the way he wants. But having said that, he usually starts out going at least a half hour talking about whatever he wants to talk about. Then he brings on Andy Trekker, who talks for at least another half hour. So that's an hour in before anything opens up. And then it's a set topic. And for the past God knows how many weeks has been this stupid WandaVision.
Well, that's what's been popular.
Give a shit about WandaVision. So it was supposed to be a virtual pub, an atmosphere for everybody to feel welcome. I don't give a shit about WandaVision. Why would I want to be there?
Okay. Yeah. Like, I just brought up...
I had no problem with it being talked about, but that was the only topic.
Well, he always says you're welcome to change the topic. And let's welcome Professor Brainy Specs. Hello, Professor.
Good evening, Commodore Ty. Hello, Cap.
Hello. Why do I get the feeling I'm in for a reaming now?
No, you're not.
It feels sorry for Matthew. I don't think he has a way to defend himself right now.
Well, let me just say that I agree with Commodore Ty. The big topic with most of the community has been WandaVision. Now, like you, Cap, I have not seen any of WandaVision. Now, I might in the future, but that doesn't mean that the topic isn't important for the community, and that's what they want to talk about. That's what they want to talk about, so that's what has been the main topic. Now, in defense of Life with Matthew, the conversation does wander. It will go into Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, all sorts of different things.
I like this comment from Thomas.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Okay, yes. I hear that there are war crimes talked about.
But
I don't know
articles of
what all they are.
Yeah,
articles of impeachment. Sorry.
But here's Matthew's rebuttal to the to what you need to. This is what he does not set a topic. People can bring up whatever they want, but unfortunately, a lot of people want to talk about WandaVision at this point. Thankfully, it's over now, so they might switch it up.
I give it another week, and then they'll be talking about the next
big thing. Yep.
Thing.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like if Matthew we were running the virtual, Matthew was running it today, we would be definitely talking about Superman and Lois. I'd bring up Resident Alien again because it is quite a good series.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be almost over, though. I think it's only a 10-episode season. And hello, Darren, to the chat. And good job hosting the pub tonight, Commodore. Well, thank you, man. Much appreciated for the comment. And Matthew says, yep, WandaVision is over. Next up is Prodigy. Matthew. We got so much more better stuff to talk about than Prodigy at this moment.
Well,
Don't you guys-
Prodigy. How about proctology? That would be a better topic.
Yeah.
well, let's be fair. We've not seen any of the show except one still image.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on the one still image, it does not look promising.
I agree.
I am
with
going
you.
to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give it a fair shot, as
Of course,
I have
you gotta
with
give it a fair
every
shot.
single show.
Yep. I just don't have hope for it. I don't have the hope I normally would have for
See, I
it.
had hope. I had hope
Yeah.
before
The image was
Discovery came
released.
out.
Oh.
I had hope before Discovery came out. Then I
what's
saw it, and that was the first Star Trek series. I did not even want to watch the first episode the first time it was out.
And
And quit.
Life of Matthew says very true. Superman and Lois 2 episodes in. Yeah, it's pretty damn good so far. And also, if you want to know, before I bring up Darren, that I believe I read somewhere that they're going to have a break in between Superman and Lois because of the sickness stuff. So they're going to be airing Supergirl up until May, and then they'll bring back Superman and Lois.
Oh,
Just for people would know. And let's all welcome Darren Wagner to the stream. Hello, Darren.
Hello, I'm going to be on my best behavior.
Oh, don't worry about it. Not Matthew.
Hello, Darren.
Hello. Hello, Sex. Hello, Trek. How are you? Oops, I meant Specs. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't.
no, you didn't.
There you go.
If you guys want to know, I'm just reading the chat. Yes, Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out next Friday. So
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes, but they're 1 hour long each. And they should be relatively simple. It's just they're discovering a bigger threat from what I read, but you can't believe what you read because of the stuff that's happened with the previous show.
Didn't the actress who plays Supergirl, isn't she pregnant and having a baby, and that's why they kind of had to shift emphasis over to Superman for this?
I have no idea, but it's kind of a bummer that they're going to break up the Superman and Lois because they're building such good momentum, getting such good reviews and ratings and everything. To break it up with Supergirl, which has been on a slide for years, I think it's going to do more damage than benefit.
Yeah, I had some problems with Supergirl and only watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. So I mean, I did like what's her face, Callista Flockhart initially as Cat Grant, and I think they did an interesting take on that character. But I'm more eagerly waiting for Falcon and the Snowman.
Yeah,
Winter
Thomas
Soldier.
Potts asked, "Is Manifesto going to show up?" Maybe you should ask LDG about that one. But I have some good hopes for it. And greetings to John DeMarco. Welcome. Good
Hello,
job
John.
with the question of Trek, and congrats on the win, man. You knew those questions like rapid fire.
Oh, John was awesome on the show.
Oh man, we'll have to have a rematch, man.
I don't think John's team missed a question.
No,
Oh, look.
and the only question I missed was I didn't know the sector that they met the Doomsday device in.
And
the system.
Yeah.
I just noticed the
Yeah.
professor changed his name.
Admiral Saval
Well, I
asked,
pointed it out right away,
Yeah.
Darren.
Oh yeah, he did.
There you go.
It just, I don't know.
yeah,
I was reading the chat.
yeah. I'm reading it. Admiral Aravic Saunders asked, "Do you guys recommend Titans?" Never seen it. I'm going to be honest, never seen it.
You mean Teen Titans or?
It just says Titans.
Oh, yeah, they've messed them up. Honestly, I was talking to some other people who we know about this, and I thought one of the best things they could do if they really wanted to just restructure the DECU is just use the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini Justice League cartoon as go to that for inspiration and sort of story templates, because they managed to do probably the best television universe of DC ever, even though it's an animated series. So yeah.
He did say he did ask if the live action one. Yeah, like I said, never seen it. Outside of the stuff that's recently come out, haven't really watched much of it. I've always been a Star Trek guy to start with, so ask me about Star Trek, I can name off pretty much. I've seen everything.
John DeMarco says we missed a question about Enterprise. What was that question?
What was it? I don't remember you guys missing a question.
I don't either. I got the list of questions. Let me look it up, or maybe you can tell us, John.
See, if I were ever on it again, I would need somebody who actually knows Generation 3 Trek, because I'd be like, oh,
Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, and soon to be
I watched all of Picard. I watched all of Picard, so I might be able to fake that a little bit.
Well, Picard, there's so much information that they give you. It's
it was the name of Travis's ex-girlfriend, who was a reporter.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right.
What was her name?
Oh wow.
Natalie. I think that was her name, Natalie.
I don't remember that question, but I'll have to double check. But you guys still rocked it, man. There were questions I was really shocked that you figured out the Borg designation question I gave.
The problem with Generation 3 Trek is no one wants to rewatch it.
Yeah, that's the
problem.
No one
wants to rewatch it. So exactly, you don't, put it in memory.
Maybe an episode or two, but as a whole, no. There's moments and maybe even a handful of episodes I don't mind, but I wouldn't go out of my way to rewatch them or pay much attention to it.
They don't have a lot of rewatchability because they're not very three-dimensional. They don't have a lot of depth to them.
No, even the lead character of Michael, tell me characteristics of her except her being everyone saying she's so perfect. That she cries a lot?
Yeah. That she's insane. I mean, she is a kind of a... My assessment of her when I saw the first season was this woman is a sociopath.
Sounds right.
She's probably born normal, but living on Vulcan, them trying to turn her into kind of a human Vulcan intellectual hybrid broker. I mean, she's nuts. And then she was also what do you want to say? Enabled by the fact that they just let her be as an officer on the ship without having gone to the Starfleet Academy or anything. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
You don't know if Spock went to Starfleet Academy though or not in the original series.
I always assumed he did.
That's the thing.
That'd be my assumption.
I mean, I know he went to the Vulcan Science Academy as well, but then again, given how he's,
Oh, we lost Captain Trek.
Oh dear.
He'll be back up.
Now I gotta look it up. Dang it, Ty.
Hey, it's great discussion. That's what this is about. Just discussing stuff.
Spock. Let's see. Go to good old Memory Alpha, the fountain of all.
Yep. If it's not in Memory Alpha, it'll be in Memory Beta.
Yep. He went to Starfleet Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. During his time at Starfleet Academy, Spock had a Wanafa for fundamentals in quantum physics, and that was in. Oh, wait a minute. That was okay. That's okay. I forgot this about Memory Alpha. They include material from Generation 3 Trek. So the one that was in Discovery. The one that was in Discovery went to Starfleet Academy. Let's take a look at the real one here and see who was. Because I kind of have to hold off on that.
Yeah. Thomas Potts said, didn't Kirk mention how much money Starfleet spent on their training? No, I don't think so. Maybe
Well, here's the thing, though. You can actually be at what they call a TDA officer, temporary duty assignment, and
yeah,
that's a way for you to be able to like serve on a ship without having, as an officer, without having to, go to the academy. But generally speaking, I think that I'm pretty sure that Spock went to the academy. He wasn't the first Vulcan to be graduated at the top of of their class, though. That was Valeris. But the assumption here is that he went to the academy because that's how you become an officer in Starfleet until Discovery came out.
yeah.
And as I said, John knows his Trek.
Definitely.
Episode title.
And it's also said in the short track, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, Q&A was what first came up. Yeah,
it was interesting to see with Q&A. I think it was one of the lesser offensive short treks out there. It was far more offensive to the palate and to Trek in general than Q&A.
It depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
A lot of people object to Spock singing.
Right.
Yeah, that was too far. But back then, like Spock, there were moments where Spock did show emotion in the original series and stuff. People will say yes, they didn't really define the character up until then, but it does.
They're using that as an excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, but I find it does fit. But to me, at least, Q&A wasn't the most offensive. The most offensive was the trouble with Edward.
Mm-hmm. And terrible.
And then
terrible
it was
film work.
And then Children of Mars.
Yes. Okay. So there was the quote from John DeMarco that sort of pretty much confirms that he went to the academy. So, yeah, what Discovery did with redefining Spock and then telling everybody it's in canon because of these episodes that happened when Star Trek was in its infancy, it reminds me of like let's say they came along and they said that in Picard's era, of the era of TNG, the Klingons, the Klingon people were a member world of the Federation. Because there was an early TNG episode where it was established, there was actually two of them that were established, where the Klingons were actually now a member world of the Federation, same as the Vulcans and the Andorians. And then they changed that after, I think in season 3. So it was because they hadn't figured this new version of this new era of Star Trek universe out yet, and initially they were going to go with that idea, but then they changed it later for.
And just to bring up John DeMarco, the trouble with Edward was absolutely awful. Worst captain ever. Yeah, she wasn't the best captain. Attractive, but the stuff she did was just pure cringe. And he had to actually look up the quote, but it was good to see that.
That captain was basically the shining example of what happens when you take writers from a show like the Gilmore Girls and put them in Star Trek. She's probably the reason why there were no female captains in Kirk's era.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Anyway.
Like, it was just horrible. Like, the way she talked to Edward, it's like, at least show some respect to him. Like, discipline him, but show respect.
Yeah, she was a mean girl who had been put in charge.
I think she was just promoted too soon.
Here's the real fact of the matter here is that girls like that were the ones that used to make fun of the boys in school who liked Star Trek.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why that short trek offended so many fans.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't really even care about her. It was more of the butchering of the tribbles.
Oh, well, that
was what upset me most. And then Edward's character, I didn't care. His arrogance and she was wrong for doing the stuff she did, but he was wrong also.
Well,
he didn't listen to his captain. If they just talked to each other like adults and not like the kids that they did, I think the whole situation would have ended up there. But of course they didn't.
The trouble
But
with
they-
Edward is not is a canon violation or continuity violation, not only with TOS but also Enterprise, because on Enterprise they
knew
there
what
was
tribbles were.
Phlox did,
Yeah.
and he established that their multiplication abilities were already established 100 years before Kirk and Spock. So it wasn't because of this guy who tampered with them, and
that's what upsetted me with that. It's like, it was just, and I had to rewatch the Enterprise episode because I forgot about that episode of Enterprise. But it being so negative towards the original series, and having everyone be like, "Oh, what's that?" Like having Uhura literally say, "What is that?" When you had like less than 20 years previous, this huge it destroyed a Federation starship.
Yeah, it's.
Or they just used to classifying everything now.
You can look at it one of two ways. Either Generation 1 and 2 of Star Trek were wrong, or Generation 3 is wrong. I tend to lean towards 3 simply because it's the newest kid on the block, and there isn't as much material in Generation 3 as there is in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and that's also what they did wrong with Harry Mudd. They made him out as a murderer when he was just a simple con man.
Yeah, he was a bumbling, buffoonish sort of scoundrel. He wasn't clever at all. He wasn't dangerous,
conniving, dangerous, not like murderous person. He was a bumbling fool that just tried to fall in to do cons.
Right.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, it just shows that the current showrunners don't know their Trek history. I mean, they wanted to call Strange New Worlds Enterprise.
Right. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That was a Kirk palm face. That was definitely a Picard palm face.
Yeah.
Also, but I just finished watching episode 8 of Picard, and they did add a nice tidbit of information that Ensign Picard served on the Reliant, and that was actually supposed to be mentioned back in the Next Generation. And I can't confirm it because I don't have the Blu-rays, but for people that have the Blu-rays, watch A Measure of a Man and tell me if that line's in there or not.
Well, it wouldn't have been the Reliant that Khan destroyed, because that would have been way before his time.
No, there was a second Reliant. It's on Memory Alpha. Type in USS Reliant 24th Century.
Gotcha. Well, it's a perfectly good name. I mean, they can use it anytime they want.
Yeah.
It's other Star Trek names that they want to do, and especially in Generation 3 that I can't stand. Like, what was the freaking name of Rios's ship when he was in Starfleet? It was like
it's mentioned in the episode, but there's like nothing about it. Like literally, they did no. There's not even data information about it.
It was just a name, but it was such an annoying name. I'm glad we didn't see it.
All these other ships that we just have names for in the first generation and second generation of Trek, people have given backstories to. There's nothing on Rios' ship. Literally, there's not even an image, a proper image.
Right. Yeah. I take the naming of starships and Starfleet pretty seriously. I'm actually kind of one of those guys who thinks that since the audience is primarily American, you shouldn't have ships named like the Yamato.
Well, they did destroy the Yamato.
They did destroy the Yamato, but I mean, it was in 2 episodes. But no, the Yamato wasn't. Yes, the Yamato was destroyed. You're right, but it was in two. It was in two episodes. No, I remember watching.
I didn't say.
Remember a friend of mine saying that he tried to watch the episode with the Yamato in it with his grandfather. His grandfather had to get up and leave the room, and he goes and went out to the garage, and so he went out and asked him why you're not watching the show with me, and he goes, because he says that the USS Yamato, he says, I have friends from the World War II that were killed in an attack from that ship. And the idea that they put the USS in front of it, that's just, he couldn't handle that,
See, I think the reason why they did it was because it's the 24th century, everyone's allowed, so they're just picking names from great ships.
There's a certain generation that isn't going to tolerate that, And how would you feel if they had a USS Bismarck in Starfleet?
Let me just stop showing
Oh.
cameras.
But I mean, how would you feel if there was a USS Bismarck in Starfleet? I guarantee you some people would have some things to say about that.
Sure, but there probably is.
Who knows? I mean, there was. It's like.
Oh, and Andrea's now in the chat. So hello, Andrea.
Hey guys, hey Andrea. No, I'm
back, Andrea.
I had a real problem with. It was the only problem I had with the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, when they had the hypothetical ship that Ezri Dax commanded called the USS Emmett Till.
Okay.
I'm like, there's only one reason to have the ship named that, and that is to eventually use that as a story element. And Emmett Till, for those of you who don't know, was a young Chicago, what they used to call a young Chicago Negro, who visited extended family down south, and apparently, as the story goes, said something to a white woman in a grocery store that was not deemed appropriate by the people of the South, and that woman's husband and friends basically beat him to death and then threw him in the river. And it became and it was a big deal back then. Emmett Till deserves a park to be named after him, sure. A street, go ahead. But there's no legit reason I can think of why in a spacefaring Navy, 500 years later, you would name a starship after him.
True. Also, in the chat about people, both John and Matthew. John wouldn't have a problem with the name Starship Bismarck, and Matthew wonder how many people would actually have an issue with it. Well, it depends on the generation and the people that would know history and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I also understand that there was a Japanese anime that was called, Starship or Battleship Yamato. So I mean, you could always say it was
Yamato.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, but again, to a whole generation, most of whom are not with us anymore, they hear Yamato, they think it's something very different. So yeah.
And also, Andrea is asking, what show has a ship named the Bismarck? So far as we know, there is no show that names the ship the Bismarck. It was just a hypothetical thing, because there was a ship in Star Trek called the Yamato, and it did offend a group of people, especially the people that served in World War II. And we're saying, what would happen if a ship was called the Bismarck?
Mm-hmm. I also kind of agree a little bit with Life with Matthew. I don't think that was the idea of all the LGBT stuff was actually on their radar back then, because you just couldn't do that on television back then. It wouldn't even have been coming into their thought process. And now they want to retroactively add in this idea that, we were going to make Garrett gay, but for some reason we just at the last minute didn't. I'm like, no, they didn't. I mean, what's his face? The actor may have decided to pretend that he was, act like he was gay in order to get that creepiness in there, or
Andrew
something.
Robinson.
I don't know. Yeah, Andrew Robinson. But I mean, and when you do look at the Garrick's first appearance, he does, you can kind of see it in his performance, but he wasn't written to be, that way. I mean, he had a kind of an interesting relationship with Ducat's daughter at one point as well, so I mean,
he did.
He did have some feelings, but they weren't as strong as the feelings she had for him.
Right. And he was kind of damaged goods anyway from having been part of the Obsidian Order and stuff like that. So,
and John DeMarco says the DS9 documentary was interesting, but I agree that they were trying to retroactively portray themselves as woke. That's the problem. Yeah. They did a great job and they made a phenomenal series, and now they're going back to see how woke did they actually make the series, which I think is complete BS.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the documentary I didn't really care for. The rest
I
of it
don't
was
think anyone
fabulous.
cared about it. I don't think anyone cared about that part of the documentary.
Well, I remember, and I had forgotten, of course, that most Star Trek fans seemed to want to reject the show because it was a station-bound show, and it's like, Deep Space Nine was never alone. It was always, I think there was maybe one season where it was the only Star Trek show in town, and then Voyager came out, I think, on the third year or something. And,
there wasn't much.
Yeah, and Eravik Sander, they're not planning on doing a Voyager documentary because this Deep Space Nine documentary was produced by Ira Stephen Bear just about that show. He didn't work on Voyager, so he's not going to do one now. If Jerry Taylor, if she's still alive, or somebody involved with Voyager wants to do a documentary like that and crowdfund it and everything for Voyager, they probably will. But the thing about Deep Space Nine was actually it was more special. It was
They already have. There is a fundraiser going right now, and they've raised like 400% of what their goal was.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well then they'll get theirs. Then I mean, that's I kind of like that crowdfunding thing when it works.
So, Andrea, you don't want to join into the discussion? I know, because she will be listening. Always fun to hear the convo. Also, I'll be hanging back. But we want to hear your insight, too. You have no problem.
By the way,
She's had a rough day. She had a lot of meetings today. And, she drove yesterday as well. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let her relax then.
Oh, she's going to get a shower. Okay, gotcha. Or a bath.
Okay, awesome.
She's going to get naked. Anyway,
you just had to point that out, didn't you, Darren?
I'm sorry, that just came out. I got to put my filter back on. Hold on a second.
Don't worry about it. And Life of Matthews asking Andrew Seabrook what's her favorite Trek / sci-fi show. How about we discuss some of ours as well up here? Because we can all agree we enjoy the earlier Trek, or what they group as classic Trek, the original, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise.
I just want to say something real quick before we continue. I did put out a new Submariner Perspective Star Trek video yesterday.
Yeah,
I did mention Andrea in it. So
yeah, you did.
Anyway, but
I have to go watch that.
Yeah, it's I did a Defiant one last year about this time, and it was one of my early ones, and I wasn't too happy with it, and my opinions on the Defiant have changed a bit in the last year, so I wanted to make sure I reflected that.
It was very good. Great movie. Great video. Very informative.
And Life with Matthew says, Darren Wagner, so this is how you act when you're not on my panels.
Act like what?
Act like what? And John DeMarco also really liked the video.
Thank you. But enough about me. You had a new subject, Commodore, you wanted to talk about, or a different take?
I was just saying because Matthew was asking Andrea what her favorite Trek / sci-fi show was, so I was wondering if we could discuss some of our favorites. Just because there are quite a few out there.
Favorite shows or favorite episodes?
Shows, episodes, series, whatever you come up.
I'll go last. I'll go last then because I've talked quite a bit already. So,
well, my favorites, of course, are the classic Treks, but I also enjoy the classic Who as well because they actually do stuff in classic Who compared to what they've done recently. They actually tell you a story. Like anything that tells you like a convincing story and has good character development, I always seem to enjoy. If they're just gonna give you blah, which is what New Trek's quite infamous of doing, excluding a few of the characters, like I know more about Saru and Lieutenant Detmer than I do about their main character, Michael Burnham. Which is, you shouldn't have like secondary or even tertiary character know more about them than your main cast character.
Well, we didn't even know their names in some cases until the second season.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah.
But just
That's
from
ridiculous,
the observation of
Yeah.
just observations that I picked up in season 1, I kind of got to know them, and then I finally got to learn their names in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, getting back to Doctor Who, Classic Who, it gave you time to breathe. The stories were longer. They were typically anywhere. A lot of them were 4 episodes in length, 20-some minutes each. But some of them were 6, 7 episodes. You had a few that were upwards of 10 episodes. So they had time to breathe, introduce the characters. You got to know those characters.
Make you feel about the characters. And that's what the thing with New Who.
Now, I will say Classic Who also had the problem when they extended those stories to those lengths. Sometimes there was a lot of filler.
Yeah. Like, I think they just need to hit that sweet spot. And I think you nailed it. I think that 4-episode block is the sweet spot. Anything more, it feels like they're dragging it out. 2 less, they're rushing it.
Not always. There were some stories that fit the 6 or 7 episode length, and I would even say the second Doctor's final story, the War Games, that was a 10 episode story, and it did not feel like there was much filler there. Yeah,
but it also accumulated into the debut of the Time Lords and a regeneration, so you probably needed that time to bring up that stuff. Like there are stories that go. I'm saying the bulk of the stories probably would. The sweet spot is 4.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The sweet spot is 4. But going back to the War Games again, the Time Lords, they were only in the final episode. So you had 9 other episodes plus a little bit into that 10th episode that had nothing to do with showing the Time Lords for the first time, or Gallifrey, or any of that.
That is true. And you can all watch Classic Who on Amazon Prime right now. On the
it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, the BritBox add-on.
Yes.
All of them are like they got a whole whack of Classic Who on there.
Yeah,
and you get
it is on BritBox.
And you get like a month
I think
free.
you can. I think you can get BritBox separate from Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
If that's all you want.
Well, if it has Classic Who, I think that's for any Whovian. I think that would be enough.
Now, I would really like to buy the Blu-ray sets that they're releasing for Classic Who. They've really cleaned it up. They've upscaled it to HD quality picture, and I'm really wondering what they're going to do with the early seasons that have missing episodes. Now, I know they've done animations, and there have been a few that they've done that have had like just still images, but they still have the audio.
True.
But a lot of them are still missing. There's something like 70 some episodes that have no animation at all.
Oh boy, it's funny how the chat's going now. We've got Andrea saying that she wants someone in our group to read a couple of Earth Sent Ambassador books so we can talk about them, because I guess that's one of her series that she enjoys. And then Life of Matthew says, we also need to do some Shakespeare reading. Matthew, I'll leave that to you on your streams.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will go ahead, and I'm going to Amazon right now. I'm going to buy a copy of Earth Sent Ambassador Book 1, and I will try to have it read as soon as possible.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
So you already got someone willing to buy the book.
It is $7 as a paperback, which is $7.99. Same cost, by the way, as my book on Amazon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And so I will go ahead and do that.
And then we got the classic quote: "Tickle us, do we not laugh? Prick us, do we not bleed? Wrong us, shall we not revenge?" General Chang, baby. Even though it is a Shakespeare quote, everyone in the nerd community knows that is General Chang.
So did Brainy Specs already give his answer to your question?
We kind of dropped that off, but if you want to...
Okay. What was the question again?
What's your favorite Trek / sci-fi series? Ush.
Well, okay. I'm gonna take a moment to talk about classic Doctor Who, because I can tell you I watched episodes when I was a kid with my dad, but I was really little and my brain hadn't really developed yet. So the only one I remember is a Tom Baker one where they are on a spaceship that has these robot servants, and then the robot servants start killing the guests.
Oh wow!
And I don't remember what the title of it was. I'm sure a Whovian out there could probably shout it out. But that's the only one I remember. I remember him, moments, but I don't remember actual stories. As far as like New Who, I'll tell you, one of my favorite episodes, and it's a surpriser for a lot of people, is the episode "The Girl in the Fireplace."
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah,
it was. Doctor was that? I don't remember.
That was Doctor number 10, and it was his first
David
season, and his companions were Rose and Mickey. And they arrive on a spaceship where it's damaged. There's nobody there, and there's robot servants on the ship, ironically, and basically the robots are going back in time to try to kidnap Madame de Pompadour because they want to extract her brain. And the Doctor, throughout the entire episode, is trying to figure out why a spaceship in the 4000th century, or whatever it is, specifically thinks it needs the brain of Madame de Pompadour. And what ends up happening is they find out that the ship needed to be repaired, and there was a glitch in the programming, and they started cannibalizing the guests on the ship for their body parts. So you had, like, instead of a camera, it had like a human eyeball stuck at the end of it so that the camera would work. And there was a human heart in some of the machinery that was acting as a pump and stuff. And they still, the Doctor couldn't figure it out. And then at the end of the episode, and this I thought was brilliant at the time, still kind of do, the TARDIS vanishes, time travels away, and here in front of, or behind the TARDIS on the wall, was a painting of Madame de Pompadour, and then the camera of the sort of pans out on the spaceship that the TARDIS was in, and the name of the ship is the SS Madame de Pompadour. So that was why they thought they needed her brain in order to run the ship.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
And that was the big mystery, and the Doctor never figured it out, but the audience got to figure it out because of how they filmed the episode. And that's one of the things I liked about it. Yeah.
What weird online game show have you done? You piqued our interest now. Because the people in the chat, they're seeming to be really up for the Shakespeare.
Now, Shakespeare is...
I didn't like. I don't really... Yeah.
I had to do it in high school. I had to do it throughout college. The thing that I don't like about how they teach Shakespeare is they just want you to read the play.
Yeah.
And this isn't meant to be read. It would be like, here, don't watch Star Wars, read the script. And talk about sucking all the life out of it. It's like...
Yeah. Like in my high school class where we had to do Shakespeare, at one point they had us do, we had to do a classic act out a scene in the classic Shakespeare way, and then do it in modern way. I did the modern way, like Star Trek, in a Star Trek format, and the teacher nailed me for it. She hated it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
when I was in high school, the Mel Gibson Hamlet film had just come out, and so that actually was really beneficial because the teacher that I had was really into trying to get that that in her class, so that we could see it in a modern with modern cinematography and modern actors and recognizable actors and things doing that story. And I tell you, that story came to life for us more by getting to see that movie than we ever would have gotten it from just reading the script. Yeah.
So, Professor, are you guys doing something for history with R&R tomorrow? Because Rambling's in the chat right now. So,
Yes, if everything is on schedule, I know Rambling's been working on the latest radio show, and that should drop sometime tomorrow. Usually they drop about 7 a.m. Central Time. That may or may not happen at that time. I don't know the current status. But yeah, it should drop tomorrow. And then we'll have an upload on Friday.
oh, that's awesome. Great to know. So, if you guys haven't already check out History with R&R. They do some amazing stuff with history. Like, they really get into it, and it's an amazing watch. Professor, if you want to drop the link, you can pop that in the chat.
Yeah, let me pull that up and put it in the
Rambling,
chat there.
he is working on the audio right now as we speak, so it will drop at 7 a.m. So keep an eye out for that, people. It's highly entertaining, and there are people that do voiceovers from our community with them.
We get a lot of people that do the voiceovers. We've had Bird of Prey, we've had Anti-Trekker, Captain Trek has done it. We've had, of course, Loki. Loki's done a lot of voiceover for us. Purple Valkyrie.
Valkyrie does my intro stuff, like my stuff. If you hear like the incoming transmission from Commodore Ty, and at the end of my videos when it says please subscribe, like the video, subscribe, check out one of my few other videos and stuff, it's her. Or also when I bring up like computer, like I'm like, she's the one saying accessing, so she does all that stuff for me. She did all those voiceovers for me.
Oh, she is an amazing voice talent. That's for sure.
I definitely got to get her to do a couple more for me because I'm getting close to doing. I'm going to need more soon as I go on. And Thomas Potts says, for the history of R, when you do your radio show, you have to have Berto Prey needs to be the bad guy next time.
Well, we'll keep that in mind, won't we, Ramblin'? Oh, yes, and Rambling just opened up a merch store today. And
what's he going to sell, maple syrup?
Hey,
no, it's merch for his channel as well as History with R&R. He's got T-shirts and mugs and blankets and
we got
pullover. What's that?
The tribute mug is available now.
Yes, there's a tribute mug for Admiral Doom.
So I plan on picking one up as soon as I get paid. So I suggest you all pick one up too. It'd be a great thing to do.
And yes, Captain Trek, that's what I'm doing right now. Cap sent me a message asking me to drop a link to the tribute mug. I'm going to drop a link to the store itself. I just got to find the link.
Arabic says, Aaron Wagner, your avatar looks like you're drinking Romulan ale. That is illegal in the Federation.
Yeah, that's actually supposed to be a bottle of Doc Collier, or Doc Collier, I should say, moonshine whiskey that I sell in my store. So,
Oh, nice. That's interesting.
yeah. He asks for all kinds of information about you, and I had all kinds of things to say. Obviously he knew about the submarine stuff. He knew about the flat Earth stuff. But then I told him all the other stuff. And that's all what went into his illustration, and I thought he did a great job. Couldn't beat the price either.
So I just dropped a link into this for the store into the chat there.
Yeah, no problem. And Randall, don't need to be sorry about the shameful plug. We always want to help support you guys at any means necessary. And thanks for dropping by. I know you got quite a bit of editing to do. I know how long and hard it can be. So,
and he does a great job with that editing. He's a perfectionist, and boy, he just gets it really well done, and can't commend him more.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what Mercier's trying to say there. Because he says, Spock, Jim, don't you remember? It would be, he's quoting the lines. It would not be proper to call you Jim while you're in command. I'm like, he's always called him Jim. And at that point, I don't think they were on duty when they were in the 20th century. In the 20th century. Oh, you're hearing the TOS from my background, I guess, from Thomas hearing from TOS.
Hopefully you won't get a strike.
I just lowered it a bit.
Well, that's very good, Thomas. I heard the sound, but I couldn't make out what it was.
Well, if they can't make it out, then yeah, it was.
Thomas did.
Oh well. Oh, yeah. Probably it was just at a high point. You know how they always go high just before they hit commercial. Yeah, I'm watching A Taste of Armageddon.
Andrea Seabrook's current phone is named Bug Bladder Beast.
What? That is quite odd.
I mean, I understand bug bladder for somebody that can't go very long without using the bathroom, but I mean, why would you name your phone that? I mean, unless it's
not bladder, blatter, BLATTER.
Bug blatter. Okay, I got.
Needs constant charging.
What is a blatter?
Well, I think it's from Hitchhiker's Guide.
To chatter volubly. Okay, well, that's a perfect name then for a phone. The act or sound of blathering. Yeah, great.
It's a vicious wild animal from the planet of Traal, Traal, known for its never-ending hunger and its mind-boggling stupidity. One of the main features of the beast is that if you can't see it, it assumes it can't see you.
Yeah, I've never seen the Hitchhiker's Guide, but I do know.
Always on duty. Yep, clearly Spock is always on duty.
I've never read or seen the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, but there is, or Galaxy, but there is a concept in it that I'm somewhat familiar with, and that was it's somebody else's problem field, which was the inspiration for the perception filters, I think, on New Trek or New Who. Unless I'm wrong about that.
And I messed up. The scene where Spock, he quoted one, was on the Bird of Prey prior to the time travel. But I still don't see Admiral Kirk being like on duty during that time because they were kind of marked as renegades. I guess they still had rank and everything at that time. So I would.
Yeah, but they were returning home.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's really weird in that movie how people don't seem to mind that Starfleet didn't send a ship to pick them up, that they had to come back in the Bird of Prey. But I mean, I suppose Starfleet wouldn't mind getting a look at that Bird of Prey, So I mean,
course,
but then why would you? But then why would you have Kirk, allow him to come home in it, for
As an embarrassment, as a walk of shame type.
Yeah, it's
So much. It's the Progressive Federation.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is the movie is so good we don't even care, right? Because that's how I kind of feel. It's like, yeah, okay, somebody who has no emotional ties to Star Trek, like somebody who's younger perhaps, would look at that and say, well, okay, this doesn't make sense. Why is Starfleet not sending a ship and having them, basically, confined to quarters when in the ship? And
they had Chekhov say that.
Yeah.
Where are welcoming? And John asked, did Starfleet know they were on Vulcan? They must have, because in episode 4, Sarek was on Earth.
Yeah, well, McCoy mentions it. He says, "You think they could have at least sent a ship? It's bad enough to be have to go home in this flea trap, and be court-martialed, and I don't know. Maybe they just trusted Kirk to get there on his own. I mean, who knows? But I mean,
they all knew that they were going back anyway, so maybe they arranged something prior to them going back.
Yeah, I mean,
it was the chance to get a Bird of Prey, and Chekhov did expect an escort.
And plus, the Starfleet probably wasn't as big as in later years. So I mean, because
they might have been at that time because they were dealing with conflict with the Klingons, so they probably didn't want to pull a ship from patrol or scientific mission mission to escort some people home, even though it was Kirk and crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still, I think, my favorite, probably my favorite Star Trek film, just because of how fun it was. It was a much needed, lighthearted adventure. Yeah, after 2 and 3, particularly. Yeah,
it's how you do Star Trek right as a lightheartedness. It's one of the few times they have actually done it lighthearted, and it was good.
And that's why I love Deep Space Nine, because you often had these lighthearted episodes that were thrown right in the middle of otherwise grim seasons.
Yeah, you needed those. Like you had the one season 7 episode of the they basically did the Ocean's 13,
Ocean's 11, yeah,
Ocean's 11 parody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
I enjoyed that episode.
Looking for Parmak in all the wrong places, bar associated, but pretty much every Quark episode was a comedy.
I want to address something in the chat real quick before Andrea leaves. She says she's trying to save the Orville. She doesn't. She says, "Who knows about another season?" Well, season 3 is coming. They are in the middle of filming it. They have about half of the season done, and they're continuing to film. So we will get at least one more season, and I got to believe if it does well, we'll get another season after that. Sure. It's going to be on Hulu.
For people in the States, at least. Don't know where it's going to be here in Canada right now. Haven't heard anything. Might be on Star.
Now, we haven't gotten a definitive date of when it's going to air. There's speculation of late summer or fall of this year.
They'll give us something to watch when they start showing Star Trek Discovery Season 4. Yes, Mercer. Mercer loves the Orville so much. Okay. Yeah, the Orville is a lot of fun. Well, that's how we all got the phrase Saloja from. It's become a staple now on everyone's live stream.
Well, I'll tell you, the Orville had to grow on me a bit. I watched the first episode and went, it's okay. And then it was kind of really silly for 2 or 3 episodes. And then it started picking up. By episode 6, it started to hook me.
Yeah, I've watched bits and pieces of it, but when the Orville was on, I was always at work, so I never really got to. And hello, Crimson Mist. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think when the Orville made me take notice was when they did the episode about a girl, which was the one where, Bortus and his mate wanted to have their daughter, converted over to a male, and the ship's doctor, of course, wouldn't perform the procedure.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow, this is something that Star Trek never. I mean, if Star Trek was doing what it was supposed to be doing, this would be, this should be a Star Trek episode, not a parody of Star Trek episode. And that's when I realized, okay, Seth MacFarlane pulled a fast one here. He's not actually doing a parody of Star Trek. He's doing
what Star Trek should.
Yeah, he's doing this. He's the Orville is a spiritual successor of Star Trek.
Yeah.
With some dick and fart jokes thrown in there.
For sure, man. For sure. And Andrew is very happy with the news from Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. We're all happy about that.
You made her
they had about 5 or 6 episodes pretty much in the can. They just had to do the post work on them, and then the pandemic hit. And they shut down shop for a good 9 months.
Yeah, that was another thing too. Andrea points out they actually do go with the procedure to turn her into a him, and you're expecting on Star Trek that the good guys would have won the argument. Just like when Data was having to, in the Measure of Man, have to prove his sentience in court and stuff like that.
Very thoughtful.
And it was even more powerful episode when they lost. And then that we find out later that there actually are female Mocklins, and everything that they've said about themselves to every other race turned out to be somewhat inaccurate. That they decided they were going to be a one gender species, and the females were pariahs living outside of town. So that was some neat stuff.
Mercier loved the episode where they go to the planet run by popular vote.
Yeah, that was another great social commentary as well. No pun intended. Yeah.
That episode reminded me of Sliders more than Star Trek.
Yeah, it reminded me more of a classic Star Trek series episode just in the modern day. Because what it reminded me of was that episode. What was it called? In TOS, where they go to the planet and the one planet is having a war with another planet, but it's all done by computer.
Was that Taste of Armageddon?
I think so. Yeah. It reminded me of that.
That's the exact episode I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I never saw Sliders, so I don't have that. Okay, bathe, Andrea, bathe like the wind.
Oh boy, but. Mercier also says the episode where they discover the female Malkland colony is the best episode of Trek that is not Trek I've seen in many years.
Yeah, they even had a Dolly Parton song in it.
Yes.
And Eric Saunders says he likes Sliders.
I like Sliders a lot too. When it first started, it started going off the rails in the 3rd season. They started to change producers, and then they lost one of their stars because of background arguments and things like that.
Yeah. He feels like he's at Virtual Quarks right now. Eric Saunders said. That's a good one. Maybe that's how we should name the Virtual Pub now. We're at Virtual Quarks.
Yeah, the second half of season 3 of Sliders really went to a Monster of the Week type thing. Darren, if you're not familiar with Sliders, it's about this college-age student. He's in physics. He's studying physics, and he creates a machine that will let you go from dimension to dimension to alternate Earths. and it has a timer, and you have to follow the timer. You can only come back when the timer ends. If you try to slide before the timer goes off, you go to a random Earth, and then you're kind of lost. And that's what happens. He takes his professor and his girlfriend, and he accidentally turns up the power too high, and it takes another guy with them, and they start sliding to all these different Earths because they had to leave early the Earth that they went to.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, I knew the general premise of the series. I just didn't know what precipitated it. Yeah.
But it was real good for the first 2 seasons, and even into the 3rd season. It started well, but it just evolved from there, and it got canceled. But then the Sci-Fi Channel picked it up, and this was in the late 90s. And season 4, I thought, was pretty decent. Season 5 was just a mess.
Oh, that's good. And Andrea says, "Oh, and Darren, I talked about you on a philosophy podcast I was on the other day, in a good way." And then she's worried that she'll never get to the bath at this point. Andrea, go take that bath.
They keep talking about redoing Sliders, doing a remake with some of the stars coming back, or all of them, perhaps. It'd be interesting to see. They were really talking about that a couple of years ago, and they were in talks with NBC about doing it. I'm sorry, Darren.
No, it's okay. Sliders, did that have the actor who was in My Secret Identity and Stand By Me?
I don't know.
Okay. You probably have seen Stand By Me, right?
Long time ago.
Yeah, there was a chubby kid named Vern on that movie, and I think that's. Let me just do it. I'll have to check it now. Hold on. I might be totally incorrect here.
I think the Family Guy parody brought it to modern day.
Yes, his name is Jerry O'Connell.
Yes,
he was in Stand By Me and My Secret Identity. My Secret Identity was a show that I remember watching where it was an attempt to try to get comic book geeks into a mainstream show. So he, as a kid, had this bedroom that was just plastered with comic book covers everywhere, and I remember it was a very cheap syndicated show that aired on Fox in my area. But I liked it.
The professor was played by John Rhys Davies.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that was in Sliders. Yeah, Sliders was.
Yeah, that was in Sliders.
Yeah. John Rhys Davies was pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, he really brought gravitas to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And when he left the series, that's when it went off the rails.
Yeah. But it had 88 episodes, which means it's enough for, well, they don't actually do syndication anymore. Carrie Werr was in it. Oh my goodness.
You have it all on IMDb or something?
No, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia. I never go to IMDb. IMDb hurts my eyes.
Oh yeah, that one is so hard to navigate their sites.
Carrie Werr, though, I think she was in a potato chip commercial once where she was just really hot. She was like doing the splits and stuff. Never mind, I forget it. Yeah.
She joined the cast toward the end of season 3. She was in season 4, and I think she was in season 5.
Yeah. She was in Thinner. She played the gypsy girl who was causing problems. And the last thing I saw her in was 8-Legged Freaks.
Yeah. Andrea Seabrook says, Darren even knows commercials.
Darren knows everything.
Well,
he knows a lot. Let's put it that way.
Oh. commercials are designed to penetrate our brains and memories, and so that we remember them when we go to the store. I'm like, oh yeah, that hot chick was eating that Dorito. I gotta buy some Doritos.
Or with Jason Alexander doing the McDLT. You got the hot, it's hot, and the cold, it's cold. The hot side's hot, the cold side's cool.
Yeah, he did a lot of commercials before Seinfeld. It's uncanny. You go on YouTube, you can find like all of his commercials and stuff. He had the Dr. Pepper one. I remember he did like one of the last Dr. Pepper commercials that had people dancing in it.
Well, same with the McDLT, and again they bring that up with Family Guy because they have the entire Star Trek cast there, and it's Michael Dorn saying, "Can I get a McDLT?" Well, it's got the ingredients. Why can't they just make it?
Now, Life with Matthew brings up a very good question about sliders. Which professor made it through the wormhole? There was one episode where they met an alternate Arturo, Maximilian Arturo, the professor, and it's unclear which one slid with the other characters.
Hey Darren, Andrea asked you this. I was in PSA for UNICEF when I was 5. Do you remember that?
No.
So Matthew, which professor do you think slid?
Yeah, Matthew.
I'm really curious to know what you think and maybe why, if you could tell us.
So while Matthew's typing or trying to figure out what he's going to say, have any of you guys watched the Resident Alien series that I've been talking about for the last 6 weeks?
I have not. I have to admit. What network is that on, or streaming service? I'm not sure.
It's on
the
channel Sci-Fi, SYFY, Sci-Fi. It's also, I think, on Sci-Fi, yeah. And it's also on its website. They have the last few episodes on their website as well. And good night, Mirsteer. Thanks for joining, and hope to see you next week.
I kind of thought Anti-Trucker would join us. I did let him know on his Twitch stream.
He doesn't like YouTube. Remember that.
That wouldn't stop him from being here if it was a regular pub night on Life with Matthew.
Well, I think Life with Matthew is moved to Twitch too, right?
We don't have Andy.
He's on Twitch, but I think he's still streaming on YouTube.
Oh, hello.
Oh, look, he's on a retro TV.
Yeah, first of all, don't ever call it sci-fi or sci-fi, okay? I refuse to imagine greater, okay? Screw that. Sci-fi my ass, man. Freaking never call it sci-fi. Sci-fi, okay? Dear God.
Okay, well then spell it right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Technically, it should be sci-fi because it's short for science fiction.
Professor, you got your answer.
Yes, I see that. I think the alternate professor slid, according to Life with Matthew. And he says if the original showrunners had stuck around, I think that would have been a plot point going forward. At the end of the episode, the look on the professor's face only gets who gets left behind makes me think that it was the original. Yeah, I tend to think that too, Life with Matthew. And I think the actor kind of confirmed that too.
That'd be interesting to see. And JJ, hey JJ, how's it going, man?
JJ, aka
Fifth floor 3825. So, did you guys have a fun night at on Enzo's yesterday?
There we go.
For a guy who doesn't like WandaVision as much as you do, you sure do want to put a lot of stuff from it on your little thingy there. That's okay though. You can if you're making fun.
All right, yeah, just take your hits now, okay? It's fine. I got to change this to what Falcon Winter Soldiers. This is my scene of the moment.
Morning to you.
What's going on, boss?
What's kind of
What's that?
funny is
Wait,
sure.
real quick. What's going on? Knife Matthew's not doing
He had
No.
doing the.
He's
so
working remotely tonight, so he can't do it.
Oh no.
Commodore
Oh, no.
Ty, decided to host.
Issues with the new computer, or
No, he's
Yeah,
working
yeah.
remotely right now.
Well, I've got two different stories that he's working remotely, and the other story is directly from Matthew. He did have technical issues. He was working with a clone drive, and he sent it to the wrong drive, and it messed up the computer, so he had to reinstall Windows and start over basically with the software.
Clones are never good to work with these days. They used to be the easy fix back in the day, but Windows 10. But yeah, if you just made a mistake doing it, but I just don't like working with clones anymore. It's easier just to do a full fresh reinstall.
well,
But yeah, I hope the computer is doing okay.
LD's here for you.
Yvette's
It's a
with
banging
us as
computer.
well.
Well, I mean, he was doing fine. I was just screaming in his chat when he forgot to put the fan on. He said, "Put the fan on first." And second, luckily he read it like right when he puts the video card, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Crap, LD, I hate it when you're right. Crap." Like, don't worry, no big deal.
You were hoping, like, the screws.
I'm like, yeah, there's twice I was screaming at my monitor when he was doing that. I'm like, they're in the box.
JJ, how's it going, man?
What's up, guys? Ty, it's 3827, not
Yeah,
5.
I misread it. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I get those wrong
Oh,
too at
JJ.
first. It took me a while.
Andrew Ervik Saunders says 18 played some fresh techno beats tonight. Huh. I'm surprised 18 even knows what techno is.
I've been listening to techno for a long time, and it's changed through the years.
Yeah.
Like you mean like Moby or?
No, I'm talking about like late 80s, early 90s. I'm not an old man. I'm 48 years old. I've been listening to all kinds of music for a long time.
No.
Now I was listening to techno like Tech Master PEV, Dynamix 2, Bass 305.
Okay, gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, B-52s. Huh?
That's not techno. No.
I have to
That's
make
like
a comment
Sure, this
about
was funny.
this.
Thomas Potts says it sounds like we were at a strip club on AT stream. That's awesome. And hello,
Well,
Jedi. How's it going, man?
Thomas made a comment earlier, and that's the second time he's used strong innuendo today.
What?
That's just kind of freaked me out. Thomas says, Matthew wanted to spend more time with his computer, if you know what I mean.
And Matthew says,
Hey, man.
ew.
There's nothing better than turning your computer on for the first time. You gotta make sure it's worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I built my own computers before.
I was doing some personal Deep Space Nine research today, and I watched the episode Bar Association where Worf decides to live on the Defiant instead of the station, and Dax says that Mr. Worf, I think you're in love with meaning with the ship.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think Worf had some feelings with it. And
Now, something else, Commodore Ty, I want to let you know that I did spot a food replicator in Worf's quarters as well, although he didn't use it. But there's also the thing is there's no place to eat in those quarters.
No, unless they
There's
eat
no-
or something.
Well, yeah, there's like a terminal for screen for a computer, but the terminal is not flat. It's angled, so you wouldn't So I think they initially thought they needed to put food replicators in there, and then they got rid of them and just put them on in the mess hall.
Interesting. And like with Matthews, I just watched that episode.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, that was that had one of my favorite Ferengi moments in it when Brunt comes in to confront the the new union that Rom has formed, and he tells them that if this were Ferenginar, I'd have you taken up to the Spire of Commerce and thrown off. And he goes, small children would bet on where you land.
Yeah. And Thomas Potts like to point out that, remember, Worf complained about security on the station, and Odo read him a list of security breaches on the Enterprise.
Yeah, almost like he had it ready, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Worf had to eat some crow there. But yeah.
And Life from Matthew says, too real, LDG, too real. I guess when you put the blue screen up, that's what he's referring to.
Oh yeah. Having fun.
Yeah, just as long as you keep the fists away from your face, you'll be all right.
Now.
Hello, Jedi Bill.
Hey, Jedi.
What's an example of an iconic techno song?
For me,
well, just like that you think everybody would recognize. Like, what would be a person who listens to like regular top 40 or used to? Is there a song I would have known that, you know? Like, are we talking about like Depeche Mode? Is that techno or is that something else?
Not really. That was considered. I won't necessarily say underground, but
synth pop maybe.
Yeah, maybe, because they Depeche Mode went along the lines of, say, like The Cure,
Yeah.
and
Blue.
Why are you blue, Matthew?
You don't want to know.
Because the screen, I guess.
A top 40 hit that could have passed somewhat for techno was Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls.
See, I thought they were synth pop.
yeah, but they made dance records, you know, kind of like regular size albums, but they would release them as singles and put dance mixes on them.
I'm just gonna Google it. Best techno song of all time, and let's see what Google says.
Are you bored, LG?
Yeah, I think he's just like playing with text.
I don't recognize any of this.
What came up?
Sandstorm by Darude.
Yes.
A lot of this,
yes.
Go by Movie.
Yeah.
Sandstorm. It's the song called "I'm Blue." It's like
yeah.
I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate that song.
Yeah.
But that's what he's saying. Everyone would know that song is a techno song.
Well, they the last time I heard it was in Iron Man 3. It was the song that opened the movie.
Yeah, people use that song all the time.
Yeah,
it's a funny song.
The KLF, I remember they did a.
Yeah,
they were called they called themselves the Time Lords at one point, and they had a techno version of the Doctor Who theme featuring Gary Glitter.
Yeah,
CNC Music Factory. No, that was dance music.
Yeah, that was Eurodance actually.
It's all good.
I actually liked Eurodance.
Eurodance.
Yeah.
95 South. But right there, you see it crosses from techno into kind of like bass music, rap, hip hop.
Right.
LD's having his own little thing going on down there.
I figured I had an added delay, so now it moves slower than me, so it actually looks like it's kind of cool.
A great example of Eurodance was London Beat, their hit song "I've Been Thinking About You."
Yeah.
I've been thinking about you.
Yep, that one.
Yep.
So what's new in the world of stuff in Star Trek and stuff, right? Or the new rumor mill?
Do what, Ty?
What?
I was just asking Daniel, what's new in the rumor mill? Like Section 31, anything up with that?
No, nothing. No.
I was hoping we'd hear something.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
He has too much time on his hands right now.
No, LDG is
Going over a
playing with
bump.
himself. You guys realize that's right.
Okay, what are you drinking? Pixels.
I am completely sober. Okay, this is. I don't know. Maybe WandaVision did this to me. I have no clue anymore.
Still got Wanda frozen in your screen?
Yeah, I got Wanda in my fucking brain, dude. Oh, shit. That just freaks me out. Yeah, I'm done with Wanda, though. I can't wait to see next week's episode because it's just going to be the one where they say, we're going to do all this stuff and we're going to put this here and drive this person nuts and this person nuts. And there's going to be one guy out there. Listen, there's going to be one person out there who's really going to weaponize his autism. And, this might kill him. You know, it might even send him to the hospital. Yeah, I'd like to hear him say that.
Maybe. They also... but you got Falcon Winter Soldier to go after.
No theories on that. I don't even care. Just gonna watch it to enjoy it. I'm
when in
done.
the timeline do you think it takes place in? You think it takes place after WandaVision or before WandaVision?
I think
after.
It'll have to be after.
Yeah, it's after.
Well, originally it was supposed to be released in December, so it should take place. I thought maybe it takes place before, you know.
Well, it's only been 3 weeks after the snap that WandaVision takes place in.
So it'll either happen around vaguely the same time or a little bit after WandaVision.
Who knows? They might actually make a mention of it. It's like Bucky might say to Sam, it's like, you hear what's happening in Westview? There's some crazy shit happening up there.
Well, I had a question that totally slipped my mind from yesterday, and LDG, I hate to bring it back up, but it might have been just another play on our suspicions. When Jimmy makes that phone call and he says, "Cliff, I need your help." Who the fuck was he talking to?
At first, I thought he said Clint, and I thought he meant Hawk.
Clint. Yeah, Clint.
Yeah, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. It's absolutely nothing. And if you think it's something, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Okay, done. I don't care about Cliff,
seriously, what if
Clint, Cleast, Clute. I don't give a shit. I'm done with Wanda, dude. Done. I'm sorry, guys. You wanted to theorize. You had your time to theorize when I spent weeks going over that shit. I'm done. All right. Sorry, guys. Love you, but I'm done. Check, please. I'm out.
LD,
mas.
John DeMarco wants to know when you're going to fall out of your chair.
You know what? I'm actually bringing that clip back. It's going to be one of my overlays, so it's coming back. Don't worry, it's going back. I'm never falling out of this one. This one's good.
Yeah, he thinks you're going to fall out of that one, especially with your roller coaster bit.
You never know. You never know.
He needs a good roller coaster to loosen up.
You're very funny tonight. You know that, right?
You know what you need, LDG. You remember?
Yes, sir.
You ever been when you were a kid? Did they still have arcades?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So there were these flight simulator games where you actually got into the video game, right? Mm-hmm. You were almost strapped in. You need to find one of those and make your computer station out of that. Like put take the guts out of it.
In there, done that.
Oh, you've done that. Okay. All right.
Well, it's not necessarily like in a simulator per se, but like I had a 3-screen computer before 2 screens was the thing. I was playing World of Warcraft when it first came out on 3 1080 screens next to each other. Nice. So it was basically like a simulator. My computer blew up 6 months later, but For 6 months, I had the best World of Warcraft experience you could ever imagine.
And then
I was just thinking that you wouldn't be able to fall out of that kind of a setup because
They have a chair like that. It's like $6,000. It looks like a scorpion. If you look at online, look at
that
Scorpion chair.
Scorpion game.
And it's got like a tail that comes around, and you get like a huge screen, and then it's like a long chair on the bottom, and like the whole thing moves.
You can set it up however you want. You can have the big 32-inch curved screen. You got 3 screens, 2 screens.
Here's what you do: you find a pole position arcade game somewhere, or maybe.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind like one of those Star Wars, like the Star Wars ones that you got into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Or the Star Trek one.
Yeah.
Or the Star Trek one, or there was a couple of them that you got into it, and it was a chair. Even I think some of them even had like a footrest, for God's sakes. And you got into it, and it was all you had like curtains on the side and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
They're the latest one. Well, the last one I played anyway. I played it at a Dave and Buster's. They're called battle pods. They look like big ass balls. Man, you get in it. The majority of the front is the screen. It may move. I don't remember. It's been so long, but that would be the perfect thing to do. You can make the sound and close it. It works.
There you go, bud. You got it.
But yeah, seriously.
Dude, we're doing Hot Sauce Challenge Part 2, guys. That's right. We're gonna do it all day. Fundraiser for a Scorpion chair.
Right. Look at that, LD.
Here you go. Here you go, LD. Ty, if you could share my screen for just a moment. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, that's exactly
there
what I'm
you
talking
go.
about. Yeah.
Find one of those, and then you can't fall out of that fucker, right?
Yeah, you can.
Well, LD will find a way.
You could fall sideways out of it, of course.
You know what, too? Like, it's when I pass away, they'll just board up the sides, and it's a built-in coffin.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh shit.
Oh, and we lost him.
Oh dear.
Me.
Ow, that hurt, man. Put me down here. What's going on?
Of course. I would recommend not doing a Star Wars game, converting it into a computer setup, because it's probably worth more as a Star Wars game to collectors. But pole position, nobody gives a shit about that. So
no.
Oh well.
But the newer version, Star Wars Trilogy Arcade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be it's not covered, but that would be good too. I've spent a lot of nights sitting at that game.
Well, they had the Star Trek one that you could sit down at too. That was cool.
You talk about the old wireframe one that you could sit in?
Okay.
The
Was it wireframe? Yeah, I think it was wireframe.
Yeah, kind of like the first Star Wars game.
Yeah, it had a dial, like a paddle you turn left and right with, and then you had
Different
buttons for thrust, photon torpedoes.
Yeah. I played it. I love that game too, but I just couldn't find it nowhere.
Yeah, and when you started it, had Spock saying, "Welcome aboard, Captain."
Yep.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Saunders wants to know if you guys have any suggestions for any games because he wants to play one again.
Okay.
I'm not much of a gamer, so I can't say anything really. So, what would you suggest to Saunders?
Well, it all depends on what you like to play. I can come up with a lot of old school stuff, but it's just depending on what you like to play.
Yeah, so Saunders, if you have any specific games you want to play, like you want to play like a simulation game or like a shooting game or a 1v1 thing.
Yeah. Me personally,
first off, Eric, you need the computer to be able to play it. Some of these games require a high-end computer.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the ones I'm talking about would take the simplest of laptops. I'm
Okay,
talking
so
old shit like Super Sprint or Off Road or hell, I don't know if you guys, if anybody enjoyed it or not. The
so
original
you're talking
Tron, Pac-Man.
you're talking the MAME arcade
yeah,
emulators.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking no high-end gaming shit because I like classic games myself. It's just, and I've said this a lot to LDG. I'm not smart enough to use them.
The classic games are more fun to play. If you have any of the old PlayStation systems, I would definitely suggest play some Crash Bandicoot. That was always fun to play.
I've got a fully functional PS1 in the closet.
Yep, same here. I got a PS1 and a PS2. I haven't got anything above that.
Wow.
Yeah, just nothing's really interested me to get the other ones. I might get a PS4 just so I can get a Crash Bandicoot and Insanity.
Yeah, the only reason why I bought an Xbox One because they were talking about backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was under the impression they was going to do that with the entire library. And I've got a stack of 360 games I can't even fucking play no more. It makes me mad. It really does. Because it was games I was hoping they would make backwards compatible.
Yeah, like
And
1 and 2. PlayStation's 1 and 2 were PlayStation 2 is backwards compatible. Right? And they just make the other stations backwards compatible.
Did your 360 just break or stop working, or did you sell it, or what did you do?
No, I gave it to my stepdaughter after I got my Xbox. And if I'd have known then what I know now, I'd have never gotten rid of it.
You might be able to find a 360 like on eBay or something.
Yeah, definitely.
I bought one.
Really wanting to play those games.
I bought one. It was January last year, 2020. I bought a used one from GameStop. I used it exactly 3 times, and I don't sleep in a bed. I sleep in a recliner.
Guess Darren dropped out.
And
take care, Darren. He's probably not a gamer. I bet he's not a gamer.
Yeah. Take care,
Darren. My foot actually touched the power button and opened the tray, and my foot landed right down on the tray. I had the 360 maybe a week and destroyed the tray on it.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst.
If it had been the first gen 360s, I could have tore it apart and replaced the drive, no problem. But the new ones, I think they were called not the Slims, they were called the E's. I think the last version of it was. That's what I bought, and oh man, I destroyed it. I destroyed the tray on it. I'm like, damn it! It was only $85, but still, I destroyed $85, and for some people, that's a lot of money.
Well, yeah, it's a few hours of work.
To me, that's like a week's worth of groceries or some shit. Just for me. So yeah, sure. I may end up buying another 360. It's just not yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's probably plenty of them out there. As long as they don't get the red ring of death, you're good.
Well, eventually they fixed that problem.
Okay, but that was like the biggest gap for them was that red ring of death.
Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, it's just like a computer. Over time, and with heat, eventually you're gonna have to break it open and get that chip resealed, because I guess the chip glue they use, it heats up, it wears out. You got to have it done. Do you agree, LDG?
Yes. Whatever you say, sir.
He wasn't even listening. That's great. Awesome.
I was listening with heated screws up. Yeah. Well, if you keep things cool, it's a different story, but
eventually
you got to be careful.
The putty will wear out.
The putty will wear out. Yeah. Yes, it will.
I had a Xbox One S.
Yeah.
When I bought my X, I sent it to a friend of mine, and he had it like 3 months, and it stopped working.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Luckily, he knew somebody that worked on them, and he went and he says, "Yeah, man, and he explained it to me. He goes, the glue or the putty, whatever they use to secure the chip into place onto the board,
Goop.
heated up, and the chip started coming loose. So
Yep.
he broke it open, cleaned it, regooped it, works like brand new now."
Yep. Yeah, but now they got this cool liquid that you can submerge the chip in, and it just it doesn't eliminates the need for any kind of goo whatsoever. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, but that
You
can't
can
be
actually have
cheap,
your
though.
computer, but it's not expensive, but it's better than keeps your computer going. You have a computer under liquid that doesn't electrocute anything. It's pretty cool.
That'd be interesting to get.
And it sucks the heat right out of it. So I mean, in the long run, saves you money. But it costs money, of course. But I don't think it's like super expensive or anything like that. It's just some basic liquid. Did you know that water doesn't conduct electricity?
Huh.
No, it's the salt in the water. The only reason if you drop a toaster in a tub, the only reason it electrocutes you is because it's hard. It's got the salt content and stuff inside the water that conducts electricity, not the water itself. 100% pure water. You can have a 120 volt wire in it, stick your finger in there, and not get electrocuted.
Oh, that's interesting.
Arabic.
Yep.
If you like Final Fantasy, I
Hey,
suggest
Mr. Miles.
Hey, Mr. Miles.
Hey, Mr. Miles, how you doing?
Mr. Miles.
If you like Final Fantasy, I suggest Final Fantasy VII. To me, that was the best one. That's to me.
And we get some
Bill.
good 18-inch stitch from Thomas.
Hello, Lieutenant Caleb. Deborah here.
That's my phone.
Hey, Bill. No, I'm not doing mine tonight. Everybody that would have been on was busy doing other things. I might do it later on this week, but I'm not doing one tonight. Besides, it's almost 11:30 my time. You'll be going live soon, so there would be no point in it.
I gotta love these little tips from Thomas. If the disk drive is stuck closed, use a crowbar.
Wow.
Well, Thomas likes to go to the full extreme mostly.
And Mr. Miles, we see you.
Wow. Sometimes I wonder what I walked into, but then again, most time I don't care. How you been, Jeff? We ain't talked in a while.
Oh, pretty good. Just working away.
That's cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Been on some panels lately. I was on a panel yesterday, Old Media Guy's channel. He had a panel discussing sci-fi, the current state of it, and where we're going from here. That was an interesting discussion. Meteorologist Katie was on there, and I'm sorry?
Did they say the current state of sci-fi is going downhill?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at the current franchises, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, the three big ones anyway, they're all in a state of decline right now. And the big thing that came out of it is that the fans are in charge right now. They need to write their own stories and get it out there on the internet. And, even if there's only like 100 people that read your story that you write, so what? The show continues.
Dr. Alex
in that form. Yeah, Dr. Alex was advocating that.
Yeah,
also,
great stuff. That's what I'm saying, man. It needs to go to public domain.
Yeah,
we can force something into public domain if we all do it. because they're
I
not going to
agree with
sue
that.
everyone.
I agree with that because if you don't know about him, he's a guy named Star Wars Theory. He is probably the largest Star Wars YouTube channel.
Yep. He's
And
doing the
he did,
Vader series.
yeah, he did already did the first part of it.
Yeah.
He got the okay, from Lucasfilm to do this. He was in contact with Lucasfilm directly, and they told him flat
Really?
out, no way, no way, how, shape, or form can you be funded for it. In other words, he couldn't crowdfund for it. He couldn't do nothing to earn the money. He had to pay for it himself. In other words, he couldn't earn them. He couldn't find the money otherwise in his own pocket to fund this, because to them that was making money off of their IP.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you also have they did a movie, the Star Trek First Frontier, which is the story of Captain April. That's a
Mhm.
well done. And then you got Star Trek Continues, Star Trek
course.
New Voyages,
Mhm.
Pacific 201. There's so much good stuff out there. I think those are the things we should start supporting and focusing on instead of the crap that they are force feeding us.
All right, this guy, the Star Wars Theory, has almost 3 million subscribers. When he released, he did it simultaneously in California. He rented out 2 movie theaters and invited select people to come or buy a ticket to come, or not buy a ticket because that's earning money, but you understand what I'm saying. Get a ticket to come. And between that and his YouTube channel, within the first hour, this Vader fan film is like almost 17 minutes long, hit, I think, 10 million views. And a lot of people were saying at the time it was better than the Star Wars we were getting. It was a storyline I'd love to see. What happened to Vader in between episodes 3 and 4? I would love to see something like that.
Well, that's where
If
a
they-
lot of the comics and stuff come into play in the novels.
Yeah.
That-
And he's in the middle of pre-production of the second piece of it right now, and he is going to have Vader fighting Mace Windu.
Didn't they? Because he did the Mace Windu part of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he showed the CG parts that they were working on, and it looked like an episode of Clone Wars. To be honest, that's what the CG looked like to me. Because when they show the clone troopers and all, and you look at their weaponry, looks just like Clone Wars, almost. He's got some good guys behind the scenes doing the work, but he also took a tour of the play. Gives a tour sometime last year of where they'll be shooting it. Large soundstage, man, large, and they're building sets. I think it's going to be awesome when he's done with it.
And he did it all himself. That's amazing.
The first one cost him over $125,000.
Yeah, it just shows you that we still care about these properties. We just need something to care about. If he's willing to drop $120,000 on like a 17-minute movie,
yeah,
and yet we're getting this crap from the studios that are spending billions.
My number 2 is.
Oh, that was Robert Storm. I heard that.
Yeah,
my bad.
LDG is multitasking.
Supporting those channels. I always support those channels.
Gotta support.
Yeah, sorry.
LDG, why do you have yourself full screen?
Say what?
I'm talking about in your other tab. Why you have yourself full screen? I don't want to look at you.
Because that's my background. That's how I do this effect. I bounce my video off my StreamYard and put my StreamYard back in here. See, now if I want to see you in here, watch. You guys want to check us out? Oh, look. There's hey, what up? Hey, get out of my square. You got your own square. Get the hell out.
Yeah, I was looking at OBS the other day and thinking, how does LDG do this? And I was picturing how you do things like that.
Okay, you can switch it back.
That was fun.
Well, if he put his camera on, I could have him right here. If he put his freaking camera on.
Well, all right, fine. Hold on. 2 clicks. 1, 2. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
No, you're in 2 screens.
Yeah, this is getting
Well,
confusing.
When I told you I was going to be a little bit of everywhere and a lot of nowhere, that was exactly the truth.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's going right now.
But I'm not that popular. Thank you.
We haven't heard much from Daniel, so anything new with you, Daniel?
No.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, Daniel, every time
Well,
we have a virtual
I had
pub, you do
podcast
this.
today.
You,
wanna check it
you
out.
don't say much. You don't say much on the stream, Daniel. But then after it ends, you'll private message me and you'll say, "Oh, I had this to say and I had that
Yeah,
to
I know.
say," and I'll say, "Well, you need to
Oh,
say
by the
it."
way, I gave you a video. Check on Discord. I gave you a video. I just streamed with a friend of mine today. We talked about WandaVision and a lot of other things.
That's very cool.
That is cool.
Let's see. WandaVision episode 9 review. MCU future Biden bombs. Not sure what that is, and I can't see the rest of the title without going to the stream, I guess.
I guess it's Biden, the stuff that's happened recently in the U.S.
Biden
Hey,
has had
LDG,
his
where do you think
miscues,
the kids went?
What? The kids? I think that in order to save the kids' lives, Mephisto grabbed them, imbued them with his own soul to keep them alive, and took them away.
That's interesting.
What, do you think they're on another Earth, or do you think they're like in a different dimension or something?
Different dimension.
Take care, Thomas. Good seeing you here.
That's good.
Drop by anytime.
Later, Thomas.
Take care, Thomas.
I think the Dark Hole has a secret portal to the Mephisto dimension. So I think at the last second, Senior Scratchy was at the window, and when Wanda turned away to leave the room, Mephisto popped out of the bunny and took the kids. You didn't actually see the kids get destroyed, so.
But you saw everything else get destroyed, so you just assumed.
You just assumed, exactly. And what does Wanda do? Take everything that you thought you saw and the stuff you did see and completely rewrite it.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Took 9 weeks of
I
your...
knew. I was cursing. When I was cursing Feige out, the second I saw the mailman in a truck. Like, that was a deliberate spit in the... Like, yeah, you thought I had no truck, right, bitch? That's exactly what that scene was about. What FedEx guy do you know takes 9 boxes on a dolly and goes around, walks around an entire... Right? Don't they take their truck house to house and keep going and stuff?
Usually, yes, but on a I've seen this because I used to work for a delivery company called DHL.
Here we go. Yeah.
I would see these, now not FedEx, but UPS drivers driving their full-size bread trucks with a freaking trailer pulling on the back. Now, on this trailer, I used to think, man, they got a lot of freight. No, they had golf carts in these things. They would park their trucks and ride around to the houses so they wouldn't have to drive the truck.
Oh, yeah, but not walk. I said, what do you see them walk with a dolly, for God's sakes?
No, from house to house, I've seen them do that too, because you may think it takes more time, but it's more efficient because instead of stop, start, they gather these boxes, put them on dollies, carts, whatever you have them, and go from house to house.
Okay, you know what? I appreciate you trying to defend Feige, but even then I would say, go to the first house you have to drop off your first package and start from there. He looks like he parked his car at Dick Tracy's house, right? And then because he wasn't even delivering to any of the houses. He was just walking with a dolly.
Yeah, we never saw him deliver anything.
Nope.
We never saw him deliver anything. Exactly.
And
I understand that, but I'm just letting you know.
Going on WandaVision, even though it's done.
You know, I've got delivery experience. I know about this shit. I've seen it done. Ain't no telling what he meant by this mailman or this delivery guy. Who knows? Ain't no telling.
Yeah, and then the Dottie thing that really pissed me off beyond belief. I mean, is anybody else pissed off at this stuff? I mean, I enjoyed it. I like it what it is. I accept it. It's all good. Lovely, 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 lovely. But I'm gonna be. I get to be. I paid my freaking. My ticket for entry. I get to say yay and nay. I get to cheer and boo. I already cheered. It's over. Great news. But now, you know what? You effed up this. You effed up this. You spit in our face here. It was just horrible. Dottie was like, Dottie went from "Who are you?" to "Let my kids play with you, Wanda."
Let my kids play with your kids.
Yeah, like pleading to her, like she knows exactly who she is. But it's episode 2; she didn't have a freaking clue.
And welcome Tim to the panel. Hey Tim.
Hello.
Want to bring in
Tim.
some?
Yeah, what up, Tim?
Rescue us, Tim.
Right?
Well, I liked the whole show. I was satisfied with the whole show. Are we really back on WandaVision again? I thought we nailed this coffin and buried it. I thought we left
the final
LG,
episode. So
I thought we buried the coffin, dumped LGE in the hole with it, buried it with cement.
Well, Tim, we're in the
and put a swimming pool on top.
We haven't buried the coffin yet because it'll be fully buried when Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out because everybody will be focused on that at that point.
Yeah.
Oh God,
they're still throwing dirt on the coffin right now.
LDG,
right?
do you have theories on Falcon and Winter Soldier? Let's hear them.
No.
Oh, he will. Just give him time.
Done. No mas.
Just give it a week.
Oh God, I gotta talk to
I hope he took my suggestions yesterday, and because just watch it as freaking entertainment. That's all I ever do.
We gotta start seeding some more. We need some more meatloaf, pineapple.
You know what?
We gotta bring the whole buffet.
The hell, what is this?
I think that's his error screen. I think he just had a blue screen of death.
With a frowny face, really?
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah, Windows 10 does a blue screen that has a smiley face on it. So when your computer crashes now, it gives you this.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
even with a QCR code too. It's hilarious.
Yes, John. Great words to say.
You know what though? Seriously. Oh, sorry.
Saunders says, "Drink another Stella." I prefer Budweiser. Thank you very much. But yeah.
Yeah, after Wanda, I don't need a drink. You know what I need?
The meme that keeps on giving.
It would be even better if you had sound with it.
Yeah, I know. What happened to the sound? The sound is what makes it. What the hell? Jeez Louise.
I have you up.
It's got to be on your end, LD.
Let's try this again real quick.
Did you mute it somehow?
Still nothing. I don't have muted on.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
There it goes.
I knew it. He had something muted.
Don't you want your last minute instructions?
Doesn't even have his shoot on. I love it.
I wouldn't either. Fuck it. Oh, shit.
That would have been perfect for the very last scene of the very last episode.
Yeah. Tell me about
it. They still may.
Hey, Alexander.
They may still do that.
Yeah, they're gonna remember the one thing that the MCU does best and always is reboot.
But you see, Daniel, I didn't.
I'm still hoping they'll bring in the Fox X-Men. I mean, they can just have Wanda break the multiverse and have the Fox X-Men come through. That's just wishful thinking.
Which Fox X-Men?
Yeah, it is. It would be nice, but they would have to bring back a character that they purposely put on the screen to troll us into understanding that we're never going to see him. So I don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah,
But
I
maybe
really don't
So-
think they're gonna bring any of the X-Men in. I just don't think so. A lot of people are like speculating on it. That's the big talk of the month right now, and I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I could be wrong. So a lot of times I'm wrong.
Bring like a couple of them in, like the big names, but they probably give us like new types of mutants or like just one obscure ones that haven't been featured in an X-Men movie yet.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. Judging by what I've seen from the next phase, I don't see any of that happening yet.
Well, it might be another phase away.
Maybe, but I mean, they're so far into their current story right now.
They just started.
I just don't know how it's going to fit.
Well, with Wanda having telekinetic powers to begin with, that's a way that they can bring it in. It's just a dream scene.
Well, the way the show started and the way the show ended, it could have been all just a dream anyway because it started where it began.
Yep.
I mean, it ended where it began. And sorry,
Good point there, John.
It was just. I'm like, really? That's what they gave us? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a book person. I don't read this. I don't read none of it. These movies were my comics. I know basics of characters and situations, but I don't know, deep lore like, LDG does. So I just watched it as entertainment. But after watching the show, that's what I took from it. Where she ends up and leaves is almost like where she started. Is where the show started. She got there, she got to the house, she made the hex, and then when she leaves, oh, okay, right back where she started.
Yeah. I was hoping that the Mind Stone would have dropped. And that little piece of Mind Stone that she said was in her became reality.
Well, I doubt it would have because she told Vision before he disappeared, that it was a part of her.
Yeah, but it could have just said, instead of going back in, just disappearing, it could have meant the power of the Mind Stone could have just stayed outside of her and the gem or the stone fell.
Commodore Ty, I'm going to drop off.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for having me on the panel. I appreciate it. I'm just getting sleepy.
All right,
I need to get some rest.
Anyway,
we wore Jeff out.
Yeah. Well, no, it's been a long day. So
yeah. Well, take care, man.
But
Good to
thank
see
you
you.
again,
Take care,
and enjoy the rest of the stream, everyone. And we'll see you all later.
Yeah, I'll be wrapping up shortly. Don't know how
Okay.
much longer I'll be able to stay. Yep.
All right. Well, have a good night.
Take care.
Well, LDG, that was a great plan. We're running everybody off.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Good job, man.
You're muted.
I hate having 12 mute buttons. Oh,
Well, that's your own fault.
no, because I got to make sure I have the ability to, like, if I'm on like a situation like this, that I can talk somewhere else and you guys not hear me, but then talk where you guys hear me so they don't hear me, or
You
or
need a
talk so
TV
nobody
remote
hears
for your
me.
mute buttons, you know?
I got like different styles of mute buttons. Okay, just like Wanda's had theories, I got mute buttons.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was confirmed by the director. There was a deleted scene revealing Mephisto as Senior Scratchy.
Yeah,
Oh.
there was, but they removed it because some
They didn't
reason.
remove it. They just didn't show it because they're going to show it later.
Probably
Most
in like
likely.
Doctor Strange or something.
Doctor Strange or maybe even Captain Marvel, or, hell, for all we know, freaking Spider-Man.
Kind of like the
We'll
deleted
see.
scene from Endgame,
Yeah, like the deleted scene from Endgame, because it saves them money to make a clip that they have to do when a scene when a set is already in production and not have to bring the set back later. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, we shall see.
Didn't that creep
Well,
you
we-
out at the end?
so what?
The last
Didn't that
post
creep
credit
you out
scene.
at the end when
No.
you saw Wanda like levitating, and then all of a sudden you hear the kids screaming, "Mom, help me!" from the astral
Yeah.
plane.
That if they would have added that
Kind of makes you
deleted
wonder, like,
scene,
where are
that
they?
would have made it for
What are they
me.
going?
That would have shut a lot of people up if they just would have given us that little deleted scene with Scratch.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That would have shut a lot of people up.
Instead of introducing the scroll, how about have the Wanda scene as your mid-credit scene, and then have the senior Scratchy as your post-credit?
Yeah, sure.
So I would have kept all the deleted. I would have kept all the scenes and just would have added it to the very last, like after all the credits are done, and then I would have finally did the Mephisto scene at the very, very, very last thing.
Yeah. Like incorporate the mid-credit scene into the show, because it was basically something you'd see in the show. And just move the Wanda scene in the cabin to the mid-credit, and then the Mephisto at the end. But to answer your question, no, I wasn't really freaked out of it, because I was just more upset with that post-credit scene because it was so like the Hulk.
The Hulk. What?
What about the Hulk?
The Hulk end credit scene, the last scene you see of Hulk when it's counting down.
You mean
The post credit
you're
scene
talking about-
looks very similar to the Hulk post credit scene. So that's yeah.
didn't Tony Stark show up in the Hulk end credit scene?
Yeah.
Or it was the last scene in the Hulk movie, or it was near the end.
I haven't seen either of the Hulk movies, so I don't know.
Okay, the last scene in the Hulk movie before the credits show off is him in a cabin somewhere.
Yeah,
And he's learning how to control his
anger.
his anger, yeah. And it zooms out, and that's it. And then the credit scene is General what's his face.
Okay, so it's the last scene of Hulk was very similar to the post credit scene in Wanda, so I didn't care for it. I'm like, as soon as I watched it, I'm like, they ripped the Hulk off.
Well, you can't really rip off your own.
Yeah, but I'm like,
recycle maybe, but
yeah,
not
they
rip
recycled
off.
the Hulk end scene.
I mean, that with recycling stuff, that's what they do. They
Yeah,
use what
but
works.
it was just like blatant recycle, not even like.
Honestly, I didn't even see that. I didn't. I see Wanda flying away and then zooming out of the town. I didn't really make the same connection.
No, it wasn't that scene. It was the end credit scene at the end of all the credits.
Remember Monica and the woman walking to the theater, and they're
No, it was the one after that.
There was another scene.
There was 2 post credit scenes. Yes.
There was.
Yes.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
I missed the second one. I didn't.
the second post credit scene was Wanda in a cabin, going through the dark cold and flipping it, and then hearing her kid say, "Mommy."
oh hell, I didn't know that. I got to go look that up.
Yeah, I know about the.
Wow. Were you guys even watching my live stream?
No.
Well, if you saw
Apparently
my
I'm not
review, I brought up
watching my episodes enough. I even left the show on when my friend was over. I was like, oh damn. Then I just turned it off. I guess I turned it off right before it happened.
I
Damn
also bring it up in my review of the episode.
You see, this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that when Wanda breaks the multiverse, you're going to have certain people coming in, right? Like maybe if we're lucky, we can get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine coming in. I mean, he doesn't have to be a part of the X-Men. Be like a what?
He will not be playing Wolverine anymore. He's done with Wolverine. Hugh
No,
Jackman.
he won't be playing Wolverine, but he can just.
Did you hear the rumors of Spider-Man going over budget?
Yeah, I heard that.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I wish
reporting that.
WandaVision went over budget.
They were
So
on
like
a
I
sound.
said, he doesn't have to be Wolverine. He can just be wandering around, from place to place. He can just be like an alternate version of, I mean, Hugh Jackman did say he would come back to do a Wolverine versus Hulk movie, right? So they can just pull him from a different universe and just have him there, doing stuff.
And another article came out saying WandaVision director says Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy Woo had bigger roles in the finale, but the scenes were cut. I think we need a director's cut. We need these scenes installed because I feel like all these cutscenes were the answers we wanted. Yes, there will be new Ghostbusters coming out. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think it's June or July this year.
Actually, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that.
Who are you talking to now?
Just myself out loud.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the idea, but I'm gonna come up with the video for tomorrow about WandaVision. You guys will see it. Check it out.
Can't believe I missed this.
One more video. One more video.
Yeah, I might make one more video.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was there. That was freaky, but absolutely beautiful. I'd love to live somewhere like that.
Oh,
ooh, she's even got the book.
Yeah, you just like her because she looks sexy with the book.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking where this cabin is at, man. That is absolutely gorgeous. As long as they had good internet.
Wow, I think this is the first scene where JJ sees Wanda in a sexy outfit, and he finally looks at the background.
Oh, dude, you ain't got nothing to do but watch the background when it goes into it, man. I'm talking about to the mountainside, down the river, up into the bank where the cabin's at. Man, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
You see all that before you see Wanda.
Yeah, that was a beautifully done shot. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it took too much from the Hulk. Like, just copy and paste the two characters, and you pretty much got the same scene.
Now, now I get to play dumb. Are there any other episodes of WandaVision that have a scene at the end of the credits like that?
No, that was the only one that had two.
Okay.
All the other ones were.
Yeah, where is it? Hey, can you make me big for a quick there, geeks? Commodore?
Yeah. 1 sec.
Thanks.
There.
Yeah, so
You're big.
here you go, guys. The number one top scene from JJ in WandaVision.
You better get the right one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
When we were talking on the round table, I'm like, man, just move that blanket just a couple inches or so, man. That's all you need to do.
Exactly.
Because I thought that outfit was sexy as hell.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's move that back down to its normal size.
You just lay down JJ's monitor on the bed. You put that image up. I bet he'd be ready to just jump right on.
Wow.
A Jedi Bill corrected me and says we will not get the Ghostbusters Afterlife until November of this year. Okay, good to know. I thought it was in the summer, but I guess they pushed it back.
No
Surprise,
matter, as long as
surprise.
we get it. Because the way things are going, the way things have been going. By the time we get the movie, most of the I wish no harm on anyone before I say what I'm about to say, but by the time we get the movie, most of the cast will already be dead.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would be sad.
You know,
Sad thing.
that's the way things are going right now.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a good way for him to get an Oscar anyway.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But at least it'll be something. I'm hoping it's going to be a good one.
Only if it's done right. You know, if
Yeah,
you got today's politics put into it, it's going to be just another one of those
Shitty
movies.
Movies that had potential and they ruined it.
You know, right now, the one thing that has been done right so far, as far as new entertainment, is Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And we can't say too much more about it because then they might want to be putting stuff into that because they're like, hey, they're all watching Cobra Kai.
No. They already tried. Season 1, they already tried.
Yeah.
You know, these students coming to Johnny, going, well, no, we can't say this. We can't do that. This affects this. This affects that. And he goes, bullshit. Stop being a bunch of pussies. They tried throwing the SJW terms in there, and Johnny's just constantly slapping them down.
That's good.
And I love it. Have you ain't seen Cobra Kai? Please tell me you have.
No, I haven't. I gotta binge watch it.
You got Netflix?
Yeah, I got Netflix.
Okay, it's there now. Trust me, you could watch a whole season in a day, and then go back and watch the second season in a day.
I've only seen bits and pieces of the first season. Unfortunately, I don't really get the streaming services, so I can't watch it. It's annoying.
That sucks. Yeah, initially when it came on YouTube, because I just didn't want to buy extra stuff on YouTube.
Exactly.
So that's why I didn't watch it.
Well,
but now it's on Netflix, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah. Even the third season, the one they just released, it's still going with the same theme.
That's good.
And as long as Bill Zabka and Ralph Macchio are behind the scenes, also behind the scenes instead of just in front of the camera, they're both executive producers of the show. They know the characters. They know all about this. It ain't no different than, say, bringing Lucas back to Star Wars. He knows about this shit. He created it.
Yeah.
These guys were the characters. They're involved with.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that stupid mantra of we cannot hire people that know what the show's about.
Yeah. Because in order for something to be successful, you've got to have people behind the scenes that know about the property.
Exactly.
Writers, producers, directors, production assistant, people that know and love the franchise you're working for, is only when your content will be great again.
Oh, that's for sure.
Put today's politics behind you. Let's keep making good content. Let's write it out. Let's do it the way it's supposed to be done. Instead of this putting real world shit into fake world shit, because entertainment is something we should be able to sit down and escape the real world for a little while. Unless you like reality TV, then that's a completely different story.
Why are you watching Star Trek if you like reality TV?
Good point. It's entertainment, people. It's not real life.
Why are you watching something called science fiction if you like reality? If you want to get your political stuff, there's something called the News Network.
Yeah, Fox News, guys, check that one out.
Fox News, CNN, I don't care. Just watch your stuff on that. Leave our movies alone. Leave our franchises alone. Let our franchises tell compelling stories.
Yep. And I hated saying it that way, but even on the WandaVision Roundtable, no offense, LDG, All right, I'm not trying to keep beating a dead horse.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry. I thought you.
no, he
I
went. No,
thought-
he did. I believe. Now this is just my own opinion, and everybody has an opinion. I thought he went overboard with it. But you.
What? Oh, clarify.
No,
Me?
but,
I went
just be
overboard?
cool. Just be cool, bro. I said just be cool. Be cool.
I went overboard with it.
Be cool.
Really? Okay. Seriously. Me.
Read my beak. Be cool. Be cool. Stop.
We're not that young.
But if you let me finish, for God's sake, like I said, that was my personal opinion. But then again, Marvel is a franchise he loved. Hey.
Oh man, I'm not laughing at you, JJ. I'm laughing at LD.
I know he is.
Careful, you idiot! I said across her nose, not up it.
Found anything yet? We ain't found shit.
Found.
Anyway,
it was just interesting.
Everybody's that way with franchises they love.
Yeah.
And I made this. I said that something similar to this last night on the WandaVision Roundtable. If it would have been Star Wars, I'd have been the same way because I'm a diehard Star Wars fan.
And they got to realize these people that are trying to defend it and attacking us for complaining about every little thing about it. It's not that I'm taking a line from Mr. Finkel from Boy Meets World. Have you guys ever seen Boy Meets World or heard about it?
No. I've heard about it.
I've never.
Okay, but there is a great quote. He says, "We always complain about the stuff we love the most."
Mm-hmm. And the internet and social media and it has given everybody a voice.
Yeah.
Okay. And Danny Graham, Comic Chat, made a statement that I back 150%. People say, man, you keep showing us the same stuff. You should give us something different. But when we get something different, guess what? We're complaining about it.
Yeah.
It's like please nobody.
No. You might be we complaining about it, but not we might be we complaining about it. Tired of these blanket ass comments being made that include me when I'm not part of it.
Speaking of something to complain about,
it's we, not me.
No.
We. I actually don't complain if they do a good job.
Hey, I said, and Danny said the same thing. People in general.
There you go. There is no such thing as people in general.
Okay, then what do you call it?
What do you mean? I don't call it what you're calling. I'm not even going in that direction.
No, LDG, you're going off the deep end about something that I'm not even. I'm not pointing fingers strictly at.
I know you're not fine. I know you're not. Am I coming off too rough? My bad. You know I'm fucking around. All right, but no, seriously though, I don't freaking. I hate those comments. I'm sorry. It really irritates me when people make comments that are supposed to be like common sense, open your mind statements, but they're completely and utterly based on subjective points. We do not bitch. People bitch. Who they are, don't know, don't care. Right? But that's not a generalized comment that we're just going to complain because they give us something new.
People are we, and I'll justify that. People are we because when you say people and you say we, when we're talking about a particular franchise, the we are the fans. Those are the people. Fans complain when their IPs are being done wrong.
Yes, when they're done wrong, not when they're giving something new, which was your statement. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but when they get something new and it doesn't please
that sucks.
The fans, no, I don't. It doesn't matter.
Well, obviously, if it doesn't please somebody, it's going to make them. Okay, you know what? I get what you're saying. I guess what you mean. I'm going to shut up now.
I'll make it even simpler. In less than 2 weeks, we're going to get the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Fans have been hashtagging Snyder Cut for how long now? And we're finally getting it.
So we've been seeing hashtag Snyder Cut since almost the movie came out.
5 years, I think it's been. Almost 5 years now. Okay, we're getting the Snyder Cut. And guess what? there will be people complaining about it. I promise you that.
Oh yeah,
they
it's like
did this. Oh, they did that.
why could they? They are disregarding
Yeah.
the actual movie.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm like, and I'm sorry for keep using the language, but motherfuckers, you asked for this.
Yep.
You're getting it. But there are going to be people that complain, and I guarantee you, in this current circle of people right now, there's going to be people that we know that will be complaining about it. I promise you.
Who knows who it's going to be, but it's going to be probably someone.
I'm gonna watch all 4 hours of it, and I'm gonna watch it like a superhero movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And Tim has another picture of something that's gotten the iron from everybody. So, what do people think of Star Wars? Is a character.
That is so stupid.
Welcome, meet the navigator of the vessel.
Starship. The vessel. Yeah.
The vessel.
The vessel.
Oh, that's bad. That is.
Hey, I figured we were talking about franchises that we all love to complain about stupidity. There it is. It doesn't get any stupider than that.
Yeah, they're all on rock. I love it.
I just God.
And they're getting paid, and they got paid to do that.
It's not a rock monster. It's not a rock person. It's just
a navigator.
It's a tombstone that hasn't been chiseled yet.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is what it is.
That is the dumbest thing ever, man.
Yeah.
That's what that right there is what my franchise is falling to. A rock.
Exactly. A rock. And they said they didn't want to copy the Millennium Falcon, so they came up with the stupidest possible thing possible, calling the vessel the vessel.
The vessel.
A watered down version of Han Solo as the pilot, and your co-pilot is a rock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's a co-pilot.
Peter Mayhew must be turning over his
the image I saw is it was in the background. It was like it's like in the back of the cockpit. It's like
is it like how Andy Drucker had his former streams with the brick hanging down?
Yeah, I guess.
Peter Mayhew must be rolling over in his grave right now.
Oh, for sure, man. You're lucky that I feel it's like sad to say this, but I'm kind of glad that they're not around to see what crap it's become.
Oh man, I would love to hear Harrison Ford right now. I know he's been trying to get his character killed for years. I would love to hear what he had to say about this dumbness.
I think he'll just say he doesn't give a rat's ass.
He don't.
He doesn't.
He don't. But the fact that it's a watered down, pussified version of his character, and his lovable carpet co-pilot, now a rock.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm surprised Mark Hamill hasn't chimed in on it.
I think they finally silenced him. He's like, you can't say anything if you want to work again with us.
Well, his contract's up. Rise of Skywalker was it.
I only think he's concerned if it has to do with Luke Skywalker. I don't ever really see him comment too much outside of that realm.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I suppose he did voice in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. He was credited in that episode.
Yeah. That wasn't him standing there, that's for damn sure, but that was his voice.
No. Who knows? It could have been him standing.
They could have done a lot, and it might have been, and they could have done a lot better job de-aging, because you've seen what they can do with this stuff.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot better job.
Yeah, but once again, we're talking about a series that has a nickel and dime budget versus a big movie. So, I mean,
no, it's Lucasfilm. They've got the money.
Well, WandaVision is Marvel, but we still complain about some of the effects in WandaVision, or maybe some of the screen quality, or even the
I didn't hear anything negative about that.
plot.
No, Tim. Let me tell you something.
There's
right
some
now.
people out there that do criticize it. I'm just saying.
The last
Yeah.
episode of WandaVision, the visual effects alone was better than anything that we got in the first season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, for sure. And the
I
last
agree
time
with that.
There was scenes. There was scenes in the first season, man. I'm like, oh, come on, guys, y'all could have done better than that. Because the one episode where they show Mando going across the desert on a speeder. I think it was like the second or third episode, maybe, of the first season.
Yeah.
And they showed like the top-down version of it. I'm like, man, I've seen video game graphics look better than that. Like, come on, guys, y'all ain't new at this.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know, and with IG-11, yeah, he looked great, but he was still too robotic. He didn't remove his fluid
Well, that was
as he
the
should.
kind of point of it. Was he was too robotic. Heck, the IG-88 in Empire Strikes Back was bolted to the ground.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the one Empire Strikes Back didn't move at all. I don't even think his head moved.
No, they really built the thing and they bolted it to the floor.
Well, no, the IG series droids were common throughout Star Wars lore. Episode 4, A New Hope.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was one part of his head is part of the backdrop behind the bar in the cantina.
Yeah. Well, of course he would be there because, like Obi-Wan said, it's the hub of scum and villainy. It's just weird that he wouldn't allow C-3PO or R2 in there because no droids, but he would allow that droid in there.
No, I'm just saying, you know, the common design is littered throughout the galaxy because Rey's staff vaguely resembled Maul's saber. I'm talking about from the center point of the staff.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Designed out of a lot of parts that were the same parts as Darth Maul's staff. I meant saber. You know, they just reuse and reuse and reuse, and they need to come up with some new shit. Doug Chain is awesome as far as concept design, but in the end, they're using a lot of stuff over and over and over. And man, come on.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But enough of that. I think we bored everybody enough.
I probably need to end up closing her down just because.
Oh, closing her down. What do you mean? She's just getting up.
Oh, I wish.
Thank you, LDG. Appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we all enjoy that.
Yeah, I do. I thoroughly enjoy it. I like that episode.
Her newer outfit looks good, but a lot of people are now comparing it to how Magneto looked in the newer X-Men movie, Fox X-Men.
Well, compared to what we first got with Ian McKellen, I liked what they did with what's his name again?
I don't know.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. Who's the other guy that plays Magneto?
Daniel, do you know?
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah, Fassbender.
Okay.
I like Fassbender's Magneto. I really do.
Oh, I do too.
If anything, I liked it well enough to you know, I know they'll never do it, but to warrant his own kind of solo movie.
Who knows what's going to happen now?
He plays the part well. You know, he rivals Ian McKellen himself. I think that's my thoughts, but you know, everybody has their own opinion.
And hello to Robert Green for dropping in. Hey, Robert, how's it going?
But no, since you're closing up shop, I'm gonna go ahead and dip out.
Okay. Well, if you want to
appreciate it.
Tell people where they can find you before you head out.
Well, yeah, sure. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit everywhere and a whole lot of nowhere, and hopefully one day underneath the blanket. Never mind, LDG slipping. Anyway, you find me on Sundays over on
Underneath the blanket. What the hell am I supposed to play with underneath the blanket?
the same screenshot you've been showing, you dink.
Oh,
Yeah, he wants to be underneath the blanket.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, underneath the blanket. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay.
That means you can stop now. Anyway, you'll find me Sundays over on the Real Review 3000 or Chris Knight's channel.
sorry. Whoops.
For the weekly wrap up. Later on that night over on Honstar's channel for either Name That Tune or Jackbox Game Night. And Monday nights, usually on my channel, I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topic. Come by, like, share, subscribe, check it out. You know, the fun stuff that goes behind it. Tuesday night over on Bigger Ford Entertainment, which is Onzo Hodges' channel, with Onzo, Danny Graham from Comic Chat, Chris Knight from the Real Review 3000, LDG Pixels, Geishkar from the Basco Scenario, and sometimes Elihu from, well, Elihu. Yeah, he comes, come by and check that out, see what kind of topics Onzo throws at us, and the crowd favorite, the honorable mentions. And last but not least, you'll find me back over on the Real Review 3000's channel sometimes on Thursdays for the weekly Rumble, either as a contestant or as a combatant, as I like to say. Or sometimes he likes to change it up and I come in as a wild card. I appreciate you having me on, Ty, man. I had a blast. Had a good conversation.
I hope to do some more of these. Who knows when, but I hope to do some more.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, man. Good show, dude.
Yep, thank you. Tim, do you got anything to say before we close up?
Not much. I'm Tim Christ. You'll find me on LDG's backstage 90% of the time if I'm up and alive. I thank you, Commodore Ty, for
and you really know how to
hosting
talk.
What?
Nothing. Keep going. Sorry, my fault. I'll shut up now.
I live rent free, and in fact, I think I'm there right now. Yes, I am. Anyways, so thank you, Commodore Ty, for having me on. It's a
No
pleasure
problem,
as always.
Daniel?
What?
You got anything to say?
Exactly.
Close up?
He's
Sorry,
talking
say that again?
You got anything to say before I close up?
Plug your shit, man.
Nope.
No?
Okay.
No, I'm still a little tired.
We got LBG.
Yeah, that's right. What's going on, guys? LDG here. Make sure you check out tomorrow's video, my last and final WandaVision. It's going to be a big one, guys. I got some breaking news that could throw in the face of Kevin Feige. The only thing is, I need you. I need you to watch it. I need you to like it. I need you to comment, share it, love it, eat it, sleep it, drink it, everything. Okay, you know what? Yeah, not going to work. I got the barrier. See the hex? I'm in a hex. Can't touch me.
man.
Right. Thanks for having me, guys. Daniel's good holding the virtual pub tonight. Appreciate that, bud.
Yeah, no problem.
Good
Anytime.
fun. I'm going to sleep well tonight, get some good rest, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
I'll make it large, and you can play the Al Bundy to sign us off.
Oh, yeah.
So, here you go.
All right, guys. Peace.
Don't you want your last minute instructions?
Night, Al. Subscribe to the channel.